So I saw Weapons at an early advanced screening. I thought this movie was great. This is done by the same director that did Barbarian, which I liked that movie, but I didn't love it. There were some problems I had with that movie. Like I enjoyed it, but I also had some issues with that movie personally. I felt like this was a much better movie as a whole personally. Like to me, the performances are great in this movie. I think this movie does a great job of keeping you on the edge of your seat, and the story is told in a way that I really love with Weapons, where the structure of it is like you're piecing together the story and the mystery of what's going on as the movie goes along. So I think there's a great job of that, where I was always like interested and engaged with where the mystery was going. And this movie has a slow pace to it, but not in a way that it feels like it's dragging really slow. To me, there's two different ways when it comes to a slow pace in a movie. There's a slow burn when you watch them and go like, ah, this just isn't. It feels like it's just dragging on, and it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It's not very interesting. Then there's this version of it, which I think is done real well, which is that it never feels boring. It always like done me. I was just like, okay, I'm like, it's not. It's done in a way where I'm like really intrigued by the story. Like it has a great pacing to it, where it's not, where the pacing isn't like boring or slow. It's done in a way where the mystery is just really interesting, and you're always engaged, and you want to know what's going on. So I love the pacing of this movie, and I just love the structure of the story. How it's kind of told in a way where the story's told in pieces, but not in like a straight linear story type way in this movie. So I think it does a great job with that. I thought the characters were great in this movie. Like the only negative I'll say this movie is that the ending does like cut off a little bit, where I wanted to kind of find out what happened to the kids when they get them back at the end. Like they have a narration at the end where you hear what happened to some of the kids, but I don't know. I think maybe you could have maybe added like maybe like a 5 minutes on there to like show what happened to the how the like all the kids were at the end. It does like feel like it kind of cuts off a little abruptly at the very end. That's really the only negative I had. Like I said, like the pacing I think is great in this movie. I love the structure of the movie. I think the cast is great in it. Julia Garner, who was in Fantastic Four First Steps, I thought this was a great performance by her. She does a great job of giving you a character where you could like it's a character where you think you would hate her character, but her performance and the way she's written is done in a way where I really was rooting for a character. Like, because I always say this about characters, there's a way to write an unlikable character in a way where you make them likable. Like, like a bad example to me is Death of the Unicorn with Paul Walker. When I watched that movie, Paul Walker, I really can't stand his character in that movie because there's no like moments of redeeming qualities with that character, and the character is not very interesting in that movie. Julian's Garner's character, like I always felt like there was like there was different layers to the character, and I felt that I really felt that she did love as a teacher, she did love her students, and she did care about her students. And I think her character was just a very interesting character, where it's done in a way where she's not unlikable, and I was still rooting for her character. Josh Brolin, I think he's great in this movie. You really feel his when his son goes missing as one of those kids. You really feel his like how much he misses his son, and he's distraught about what happened. So I think Josh Brolin does a great job in this movie performance wise. You have the actor who plays a police officer, the actor who played Han Solo in the Han Solo movie. I think he's great in this movie too. Like everything I've seen him in, he's always great. Even in a show like Ironheart, which I didn't love, I think he's great in that show. And he's another character I think is a very interesting character and likable character. You have Benedict Wong, which I think is also great. So the whole cast just does a great job in this movie, personally, when it comes like, you're invested in the characters, you're invested in the mystery, you're invested in what happened to these kids. And when you get the answers, it's like satisfying. It makes sense within the story. So I think the whole mystery, I think they do a great job with the whole mystery where it keeps you engaged. And when you get the answers, it makes sense, and it's satisfying the answers you get. And there's some, I would say, there's some creepy moments in the movie when it comes to like moments with the kids, and I love the way it ends when it comes to what the kids do to the when you find out that it's this old lady, this aunt of one of the kids, and I'm gonna spoil some stuff here. So if you haven't seen the movie Weapons, don't watch the rest of the video. But you find out the mystery is that the one kid who didn't disappear from class, because they do a narration at the beginning, which I really love how it's set up, where they do a narration of these kids that disappeared from this one class, which is Julia Garner's class. And this kid's aunt comes to town, and they find out later on in the movie that she's the one that took the kids, where she's like doing, I guess some like, I don't know, it's like some type of magic, or but she's the one that like took the kids. But I don't know, it's like some type of magic where she's like she's able to like do this thing where she can like control a person, and kind of like have them be like a with a like a they're like a missile with a fiscated on like a target. So I thought that whole element where it looks like she's doing it to like become, I guess, younger is what they're like showing in the movie. But I thought that was done really well when it comes to like when you get the answers of everything at the end of this movie, and how this kid's aunt is the reason, she's the one that like took the kids and everything. So I thought that was done really well, the answers to the mystery in this movie. So the whole cast, like I said, is great. The story's great. I think that it does a great job with the pacing, when it really keeps you engaged and you're like really intrigued to see where it's gonna go and how it's gonna end. So I definitely recommend it. Go check out Weapons. And for me personally, like I said, I'm excited for this director. Like, I didn't love Barbarian. I liked it. Like, Barbarian is one of those movies to me where I was like, I really love the first half of that movie, and then when you get to like Justin Long, the tonal shift just felt like just felt off to me, and it just got too ridiculous and over the top and less interesting to me with that movie. This felt to me like a much better movie as a whole for me personally. When it comes to like, it feels like it had a more consistent tone to it. And there's some like funny moments in this movie which I was surprised by, of just like natural reactions with characters that was funny. So there's some moments I was like, oh, that was actually funny. So just a great movie, and for me, I'm definitely really excited for this director now to see what the director does next. Because so far right now, I like Barbarian, but I love Weapons, and can't wait to see what the director does next. So definitely recommend go check out Weapons at the theaters. Until next time, movie fans.